My parents, who always put themselves first, gave me an ultimatum. Pay off my sister's $40,000 debt, or they'd cut me out of their lives completely. I chose to walk away instead, and what happened next left me reeling. I'm a 30-year-old guy, independent since I was 18, financially, emotionally, and in every other way. My parents were never the nurturing type. They didn't offer encouragement or make you feel valued. Instead, they had this unspoken rule that my younger sister, Lily, was untouchable. Meanwhile, I was expected to be the responsible one. Lily could mess up repeatedly, and she did, and they'd just shrug it off. She's just emotional, Mom would say, or she'll sort it out someday, which was their way of ignoring her mistakes. But if I slipped up even slightly, it was a catastrophe. Why aren't you doing better? They'd demand. You're supposed to be a role model for Lily. Nothing I did was ever enough. I could bring home perfect grades, and they'd ask why I didn't ace every subject. Lily, though, she'd barely pass, and they'd say, "At least you're trying, honey." This double standard only grew worse as we got older. Lily stayed at home into her mid-20s, drifting between jobs and never owning up to her actions. My parents always had an excuse for her. Meanwhile, I juggled part-time jobs while studying, paying my own rent and bills without any help. They never offered support, not that I expected it, but it stung to see them go all out for Lily while I was left to fend for myself. 6 months ago, Mom called. She never calls just to chat or check in. It's always because she wants something. You know those calls, fake pleasantries like, "How's your job?" or "Are you eating okay?" just to soften you up before the real reason comes out. She doesn't even know what I do, just something vaguely tech-related. The conversation felt forced. Then she dropped the bomb. Lily was in trouble. I wasn't surprised. Lily's always in some mess. But this was different. She owed $40,000, not from student loans or credit cards, but from borrowing from some shady people who were now demanding their money back. Mom's voice wavered, probably hoping I'd cave. She piled on the guilt. "You've always been the capable one. You've built a good life. Lily isn't like you. She needs help." I was floored. $40,000. I asked how it happened. As usual, Mom dodged the question. "That's not the issue right now," she said. "What matters is she's your sister. Family supports family." That line, "family supports family," has been their manipulation tactic for years. Whenever Lily screwed up, they'd expect me to fix it, and I often did, not wanting to seem heartless. But $40,000, I couldn't do it. I said no. "I'm sorry," I told her, "but I can't fix this for Lily." The mood shifted instantly. Mom went from pleading to furious. "You're being selfish," she yelled. "You're abandoning your family when we need you most." Then the gut punch. "Do you want her fate on your conscience?" As if Lily's mess was my fault, I hung up, my hands trembling, my chest tight. Deep down, I knew I'd made the right choice. I've worked too hard to let someone else's bad decisions drag me down. Still, the guilt crept in. My family has a knack for twisting things to make me the bad guy. Even though I stood my ground, I kept questioning myself. Was I wrong? Was I being too harsh? What happened next blew me away. I'll share more soon. Update 1. I thought things might settle down after that call. Maybe Mom would sulk for a bit and move on. I was so wrong. The drama didn't just continue, it escalated. Here's what happened. After I hung up, the guilt-tripping went into overdrive. My phone was flooded with messages. Mom sent text after text. "We raised you better than this, or you'll regret abandoning us." Then Dad, who usually stays silent, joined in with blunt texts like, "Do what's right," or "You know your duty." Then Lily chimed in with a melodramatic essay of a text, claiming her life was crumbling and I was leaving her to drown in her lowest moment. "You were always my hero," she wrote, "and now you're letting me suffer. You're doing so well, $40,000 is pocket change for you." I laughed out loud. Rich. Just because I'm not struggling doesn't mean I'm swimming in cash. Her entitlement was unreal. I didn't respond to any of them, hoping they'd take the hint and stop. A few days later, my aunt, someone I actually trust, called. She sounded uneasy, like she didn't want to be involved but had no choice. She said Mom was telling the whole family I was refusing to help Lily, painting me as some heartless jerk letting her suffer while I lived a lavish life. According to Mom, Lily was in real danger and I was just watching coldly. My aunt wasn't fully convinced but wanted my side. I laid it all out. How Lily got into this mess, how I was being pressured to bail her out, and how I finally said no. She was stunned but backed me up, agreeing that Lily needed to face her consequences and that I wasn't wrong for refusing. That validation helped, but the damage was done. Mom had launched a full smear campaign. Soon I was getting texts from cousins, uncles, even old family friends, vague guilt trips like, Family sticks together, or you'll regret this one day. Some were outright nasty. One cousin called me stuck-up, saying I acted like I was above my own kin. I ignored them, but the constant barrage wore me down. Then things took a darker turn. One day, my bank called. I thought it was a scam. Who gets legit bank calls? But it was real. Someone had tried accessing my accounts with fake documents. The bank flagged it and locked my accounts to protect me, so nothing was stolen. But I knew who was behind it, Lily. She was desperate, and after dragging the family into this, trying to steal from me wasn't a stretch. I asked the bank for details, but they couldn't share much, just that my accounts were safe for now. I was furious. This wasn't just emotional manipulation anymore, it was criminal. I decided I needed answers. I was going to confront Lily face to face. I don't know what I expected, maybe an admission, maybe a denial that would let me believe she wasn't capable of this. Either way, I was done staying silent. I'll update you on how it goes. Final update, here's the final chapter of this mess. After the bank incident and the relentless harassment, I made a decision I should have made years ago. I cut them all off for good. I went no contact, blocked my parents, blocked Lily, even blocked a few relatives who kept pushing their agenda. I removed them from my social media and told the cousins I still talked to that I didn't want updates about my parents or sister. I made it clear I wouldn't tolerate them playing go-between and most respected that. The first few weeks were tough, not because I missed them, because I didn't, but because they didn't go quietly. Even after blocking their numbers, Mom started calling from random phones, leaving dramatic voicemails about how I was ruining the family. Dad sent letters filled with subtle jabs like, "You'll be sorry when we're gone." Lily went full sob story mode, sending a handwritten letter begging for a small, $5,000 loan to get back on track. I didn't reply, I just laughed. The breaking point came when Mom showed up at my workplace, storming into the lobby and yelling that I was a terrible son destroying our family. Security escorted her out, and I was humiliated. That night I hired a lawyer and had a cease and desist letter sent to everyone involved. It was straightforward, contact me again and I'll pursue legal action. To my surprise, it worked. The calls stopped, the letters stopped, and even Lily went quiet. It's been 6 months now, and it's been the most peaceful time of my life. I threw myself into work and finally landed the promotion I'd been working toward. I reconnected with friends I'd pushed away because of family drama. I even started seeing someone new, and for the first time, I feel like I'm building a life that's truly mine. As for Lily, I heard she's crashing with a friend and working part-time. I don't feel guilty. She made her choices. My parents, they're still out there, spinning their story to anyone who will listen, but fewer people seem to care. And honestly, neither do I. Here's what I've learned. Family is just a label if they treat you like dirt. You don't owe anyone your time, money, or peace just because of blood ties. Setting boundaries isn't cruel, it's essential. Cutting them off felt like tearing off a painful bandage, but the freedom that followed was worth every second of struggle. If you're dealing with toxic family, know this, it gets better. You're allowed to choose your peace. You're allowed to choose yourself. Thanks for following this journey. I'm closing this chapter for good. Stay well. If you connected with this story and felt its weight, please give it a like, share it with others, and follow for more real-life stories and heartfelt experiences. Your support means everything and helps bring more stories like this to you. Thank you for reading, and I'll see you next time.